when do you think we'll blow up?
Physically?
Since America's so rah-rah about their guns, what would happen if we took away the guns?
I don't think you can take away the guns. What? Hold, let's start, because we could talk about this.
On wages, prices, and profit. Now, I know there are some people who say that this isn't any business of the President of the United States.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Two Moms, One Mic. I am Tania.
I'm Desiree.
And this is Two Moms, One Mic.
And Tania finally has a mic to drop.
Yes, guys. Wait, I didn't, hold on, y'all, because in honor of the episode that's coming out, well, that came out today. Watch this. I dropped it.
You dropped the mic.
Anyways, yeah, so today we're going to be talking about a plethora of things. Okay, let me be honest. Let's have a transparent moment with our audience. Me and Des, like, before we was planning, had topics to talk about. Now, this shit just comes so fucking natural. We just pull shit out of our ass and, like, start conversation. Like, hold on, bitch, stop talking. We got to say that for the video.
Literally, we just did that because we started talking about some real shit, actually.
Right. I'm like, hold on. Stop. We got to say that. That's good shit right
it's
there.
Good shit right there. Like, people are going to have a lot of things to say.
Right.
But, okay, so as we were talking before, because, you know, we had to start the podcast instead of just talking, we're talking about the system and, you know, how would we reform the system? Because the systems in America were literally rooted on slavery times.
Not even slavery times. Let's take it back to colonialism.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like, guys, if I'm giving out, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, this is just what I've learned over time, is that, yeah, niggas from England and shit like that was the ones that was being sent here as prisoners. So this kind of started as a prison camp, I would say, to where you, like, exile prisoners, and then they started settlements and colonizing shit and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah, you know.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like, niggas, those the niggas that
Colonized? They colonized us prisoners, basically?
Not necessarily. Okay, look. So basically, the people, well, they left because some of them left, or some of them was like
Exile?
You heard that?
That was me.
It looked like a popping went through,
but
they were exiled or prisoners, or they just left because they didn't want to be under the British rule. They wanted to be free. So they came here, and in coming here, of course, they colonized the areas, but mainly, like, I was watching this video about pirates, and I feel like we all have like a bad perception of what an actual pirate is. Like, you think, give me booty and shit like that. Like, they were actually like the British monarch. Why does my shit keep doing that? It keep like popping. The British monarch basically were paying people to compromise ships of, you know, their enemies or whatever the case is, and they would bring back these the goods and whatnot, and then eventually being a pirate was legalized, and they were starting to make more money than actual sailors. They eventually started to capture slave ships or just ships with people on them, and they started bringing them into England, and then eventually, you know, once they started coming here, that's when they started bringing them here as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just watched a video on it last night.
The reason why I said that it goes back to slavery times is because when segregation first happened, these people created prison systems to, you know,
so that we can never actually be free.
Yeah, so, well, you're riding out here at a certain time, prison, or you have this prison, things like that. They just created another system to where we could be held back more since we couldn't, you know, be enslaved. And the thing is that slavery was still going on longer than it officially ended.
It's still going on to this day.
Still going on to this day. Maybe not in America specifically.
No, it is. You ever seen that video? There's like a bunch of people still living on plantations, and like there's somebody over them, and like they work the land. Basically, they still living in like shacks and shit, everything. Like, they're like, we would move if we could afford to. We would leave. Like, and like a lot of them wouldn't even want to like talk about the situation on camera.
That's fucked.
Yeah,
that's actually fucked.
They know, like, it's a city, it's a bigger world. They don't have to do this, but like that's a part of like real generational trauma, like
Of course.
just or a curse, not trauma. Like you just being stuck in that shit.
But that's some trauma too.
Well, yeah, it's
It's
well,
both.
yeah, it's both. It's both.
both.
Definitely both. Cause it's like, nigga, how many 400 some years later, you damn near still in the same predicament as your ancestors. You have a little more freedom. You have cars and shit, like nigga, but you still live on a plantation. You still live in a shack. You still, you know what I'm saying? You don't really, your mind doesn't veer too far out of that situation.
You're still bounded by certain things.
Right, and it's not their fault. In no way am I blaming these people or shaming them. It's just crazy to think like we have evolved and come so far as a people as a whole, and just to think that like this shit is still going on under our noses. And I know that there's people who are in power who are still aware that these things are happening, and it's just like sweeping it under the rug. Like that's nobody bothering us.
The people who are in government and everything, like take school shootings for example, they know this shit is happening but take no precautions to help it. And what's crazy is that everything's so intertwined, because when you think about it, you're like, okay, how can we protect our children? What about metal detectors? What about that? But then you got to think about how many schools are in the district.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
What happened? I was playing.
You was saying metal, right? And like I have like this visual brain, and like all I see
you
is
saw metal.
That's all I see in my head. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god, you do have ADHD.
I'm so sorry.
No, but I was thinking about it because I'm just like, okay, you have all these schools. Like, think about how many schools are in just one district. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to think about elementary schools, middle schools, and then high schools. But then only
private schools,
and then you also have to think about colleges as well, because now colleges are getting shot up as well.
Right.
And the thing is, you can have all these security people, all the metal detectors in the world, but then it comes down, who's going to fund that? What about the low-income schools? Because the low-income schools are funded by the district, by the state.
By the taxes that we
put in.
Yeah.
And then you got these other schools who get funded by not only the state and stuff, but their parents. You have donations, and then private schools are privately owned, so then it's the parents themselves.
Right.
So we have to think about all that together,
because it's like a domino effect. I feel like
it is.
I feel like it'll kind of put us back in, like, I don't want to say this because it's kind of controversial, but for lack of better words, I say a segregational kind of thing, back to where there's white and black schools. Not saying that that's necessarily what it's going to be, but it's going to be like, I want my kid to go to this school in this area because ain't nobody shooting. They not able to shoot this one up.
Right.
But the one down the street in the hood, whatever.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm like, if that would be our solution, because I'm sorry, after the Uvalde situation, that situation was like the worst handled case ever.
You know the area that
I think it happened in Texas, actually. Let me check. Either Texas or Utah.
That's really crazy. Like, was it a predominantly black school, or do you know?
Nope, it happened in Texas. Yep. I don't think so.
Let's look up the area. Like, Google.
So it says Uvalde is located in Texas Hill Country, 80 miles from West San Antonio, 54 miles east of the Mexico-United States border.
Look up the crime rate in the area.
Uvalde crime rate.
Yeah, we're gonna get to the bottom of this shit.
Because that response time was terrible.
Yeah, 45 minutes is crazy for anything. But that especially, like, what? I don't like your face. What?
Oh my god.
What?
It's kind of sad.
What?
The chance that a person will become a victim of violent crime in Uvalde, such as armed robbery, aggravated assault, rape, and murder, is 1 in 216. This equates to a rate of 5 per 1,000 inhabitants. In addition, Neighborhood Scout found that a lot of crime takes place in Uvalde property crime.
So it ain't even that much crime. Sound like, right?
I don't think so. It's still sad, but like, what the heck?
So like, was that like targeted?
Most dangerous city is Texas and Houston. See, this is what a lot of people had like a conspiracy theory about.
What?
So the Uvalde shooter, It was, I believe they're Mexican.
They got caught, right?
Yeah, they got caught.
Okay.
Oh,
We gotta hunt his ass down.
let me look it up again because I have to make sure. I don't want to. So this happened at Robb Elementary School. I just want to give a rest in peace to everyone in those families. I'm so sorry you guys went through that. No family should ever have to go through something that devastating, and no child should ever have to witness that or experience that level of trauma, let alone those teachers as well. School is a place of learning, and I'm so sorry you and hundreds of other people are experiencing these things.
Right, and not to take away from the people who were like immediately there, who experienced it firsthand, but I feel like
it's scary like for future parents.
Yeah, it's scary for now. Not even parents, it's students, teachers, everybody involved, because it's like school is literally a place of learning. Like, we're all going to school. It's inevitable. And who's to say that, you know what I'm saying, we're safe from that? Or like, we could, God forbid, like, I hate to say it like this, but like a parent could be going to pick up their their kids, and then, you know what I'm saying, anything could go down like at any fucking moment. So it's like,
exactly,
I sympathize on a much higher level, because like this has been going on like since I was in like elementary school. You remember that
Sandy Hooks?
Yeah, that.
And before that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like this is like something that we're growing up or grew up in.
We literally grew up in the thick of it.
Yeah, like in the beginning of it. Mm-hmm. So it's like that's kind of been like something, like a fear in the back of my mind for years and years now. So like to now be a parent and knowing that I'm going to blindly send my kid into school, and I just have to trust the teachers, I have to trust the infrastructure of the school, I have to trust the staff, the people in the front office who's letting these people in, like anything, because I know as a high schooler, I know like at a certain point, of course, like the staff in the front office became familiar with me, but I know how easy it was to get in and out of Salem.
Exactly.
Go out any door, have somebody open the door for you. Like, there's no security, and our security guard was too busy fucking around with the damn kids, playing and shit.
Flirting.
Yeah, fucking around with the kids. Literally. But like literally, like I just know how like laxed security in schools are, just like off of my experience. I don't know like what they've done to, you know what I'm saying, enforce it a little better, but I just know like how easy it is for people to slip in and out of school, and like especially because it's not like always just like random ass people coming and shooting up schools. It's niggas who live in the neighborhood or who actually go to the fucking school.
And
so
it's
like,
you say that because he went to the school.
See?
So it says that on May 24th.
Wait, that's the little boy?
No. I'm gonna talk about that though.
Okay, I was about to say.
We need to talk about that. There's more information on that. But okay, so it says on May 24th, 2022, a mass shooting occurred at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. An 8-year-old Salvador Ramos, a former student of the school, fatally shot 19 students and 2 teachers.
No.
While 17 others survived despite being injured.
That's crazy.
And do you want to hear the time? The time went on from 11:28 a.m. to 12:50 p.m.
Ooh, okay, so this is where, like, of course, like, the situation already is fucked, you know? But, like, this is where
it's even more fucked.
This goes into the conversation we were just having, like, I don't think like there's no real way to obliterate guns, you know, like we can't get rid of this shit, I don't feel like. And I feel like people don't take it as serious as they should, because as the police, why the fuck does he have 45 fucking minutes to kill?
That's what everyone was talking about. Like, even people, like parents, are trying to run in and get their kids, and they're able to do that and stuff, thank God,
before the police.
But even the police are trying to block this the people from doing that, or you'll get arrested. Like, that's freaking scary.
But who the fuck, like, who else is gonna do it if the police isn't?
But police isn't, exactly. And the thing is, they were able to shoot him. They were able to, but they didn't. They backed out last second. So now it's like, it's a sense of where
so
is the competency?
There?
Yes,
they were there from the beginning.
They were. Let me make sure, because they were there for a while, dude. They were weird.
The police?
Yes.
So they were just staking out and like,
yes.
Oh,
let me show you the video footage, because it was absolutely crazy to me.
This is a comment under the video about Robb Elementary School. Okay, it says, as a veteran, as a man, I'm disgusted at these cowards who stood by while children are being murdered. I'm ashamed at their excuses. This is simply cowardly. I do agree. It says some officers were females. They should also be held responsible if a woman takes a job, lead through it. But okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's people above them who are calling the shots and tell them what to do. And if some people go against those orders, they'll be, you know what I'm saying, punished.
But to me, I'd rather risk my life to save kids.
I understand, especially if you're in that field.
Literally, you're literally serving the public. You are a servant to the public. That's what you sign up for, being a police officer.
Not necessarily public. It's actually go ahead. I'm not getting into that. We'll get into that.
Regardless, you're dealing with the public. Regardless.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Any situation, the police are going to be there. Whether it's fire, shooting, breaking, anything.
Literally.
The police is going to be there. So you're dealing with the public. You're dealing with people who have high emotions. You're dealing with people who are being murdered. You're dealing with people on a daily basis.
Right.
It might be not every day you deal with a shooting, but at some point in your career, you're going to deal with one.
Right.
Maybe multiple. Maybe on the same day.
Right.
You just never know. And for you to sit there blindly and you're trained for this is crazy to me. So then it comes down to a level of, are you incompetent?
I feel like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying that no one's right or wrong in this situation because we weren't there.
The police is wrong.
We don't know the logistics.
You need to watch that.
We can't necessarily blame everyone as a whole.
You need to watch it.
Okay, let's watch it.
You need to watch it. The police is dead wrong.
Wait, he was outside?
Yes, he went in from an unlocked back door.
Did they see him go inside? No, of course they didn't.
Bro, that is so sad. Oh my God.
Well, you see that this looks like a predominantly Hispanic school.
I think
that could have something to do with it.
Shooter was Hispanic as well.
Yeah.
And what's sad is that these 4 kids who were victims because their mom was a teacher, she passed away, and then their dad passed away because he had a heart attack from heartbreak.
Jesus Christ.
Look, they run away.
It's fucking. We're probably gonna put the video up, guys, but it's literally like 4 or 5 of them. 6. Wait, 11:36 to 12:21,
and it didn't end until 12:50.
Why, my nigga? Okay, so I want to retract my statement.
Now that you have
not
evidence.
entirely, but now I would like to retract my statement in a way because I do know that these people are still under orders and they have a life too. They have a family to feed as well, so they could potentially lose their job, whatever. And I'm not excusing the fact that they all waited or whatever because, well, I am in a way, I guess so, but just to see them, like, it took them 77 fucking minutes to eventually kill somebody, and I feel like their thought process behind it was maybe, oh, we don't want to go in the class with the kids and see. The kids are already seeing their classmates and teachers get fucking murdered.
Or being murdered.
So it's like, are you doing more harm than good? Like, what's tea?
Those kids were probably thinking, I hope someone comes and rescue me.
And I bet you the first person they was thinking about was the police.
Exactly. That's my issue. My thing is, especially within the Black community, we're taking it back to our first statement of how do we change the system? Because within the Black community, a lot of us don't trust the police.
Can I say this about, you know what I'm saying, going back to that?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the only way to change the system or into system is stop looking for validation from the system and stop. Like, of course, like, here in America, we rely on our government for everything: food, water, electricity, everything, because there's no fruit growing freely around where we can just live off the land or anything like that. Like, we need them. But I feel like if that's something that we really want and something that's such a fucking problem, I feel like this is, it's far-fetched, but this is the only way, in a way, like, to create our own communities, get out of this shit, and just, like, stop being so reliant and comfortable in some shit that's not made for us. That's why we're struggling. That's why we're not happy. That's why we feel like we have to put it into the system, or, you know what I'm saying? It's all about having our own. This shit was not made for us.
But then it's also about, like, other people outside of our race are experiencing the same things.
No, I understand.
Which is also insane, because I mean, of course, our communities are not only affected because school shootings, that's every child of every color.
Right.
Like, for example, one of the survivors from Sandy Hook shooting, when she was in elementary school, she survived her second school shooting at Utah State, which just happened last week. And, you know, it just comes down to, again, how do we solve the problem of gun violence in our country when America is literally known for
that's
guns?
What we was built off.
That's what we're built off. We're built off gun violence. We're built off
freedom and all.
I have my gun. You can't take away my gun.
This is my American right. This is my amendment. Like,
I do agree with you cannot take away guns, because that's not a solution.
It's not possible.
That's not possible, because there's illegal guns. There's
everything under the sun.
It's just not possible.
Right.
But I do believe that if they implemented a system to where you have to get evaluated, like mentally evaluated, to own a gun, to have access to buy, to distribute, to anything with a gun.
Because now, I'm sorry to cut you off, but like they just passed a law. You don't even have to be 21 anymore to carry. You don't have to. You don't need no license. You don't need shit. You just need a gun and you good.
And that's in Georgia.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
you good.
And that's
like a fucking kick in the face for me. Like,
it's scary. It's like I personally would rather go through the process of getting a license, own a gun. I don't care. I should have paperwork.
Right.
Proof. That's my paper trail. So now, not only is the government and the system is setting us up, the people.
Yes.
We're setting ourselves up.
You know, like literally, like,
and the system knows that.
And I feel like it definitely is like a slap in the face and like a fuck you and like a power move for them, because like they see that we're out here. We need, you know what I'm saying, gun laws, and you need to restrict this, restrict that, have this in order. And they're like, you know what, bitch, we gonna do what the fuck we want, because that's what we always been doing. Boom, go walk around, no paperwork, no nothing with a gun.
Exactly. And then what happens when a murder happened? What happens when there's a drive-by shooting? What happens with these cases? Because now you don't got a paper trail. Was the gun illegally owned? Was the gun owned? I don't know. They had a gun.
You gotta the gun, of course, has to be legal. It's just about carrying it in public.
Still
open.
That's a concern still, though.
No, that's a even bigger concern.
That's a bigger concern.
Because at first it's like, yeah, you got to conceal your weapon, meaning that, you know what I'm saying, it can't be on your person or it can't be shown, like nobody can really see it.
Exactly.
But now, like, you're allowing people, like, and I feel like that conjures up more fear in people, because now they know, like, oh, people's going to be walking around with their gun out, and now I have to prove to them, like, you don't have one up on me. I'm, like, we here, like, bitch, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to get one
like,
off
now
on me.
everyone has a gun.
Right.
And not to say that y'all should not have guns.
And I feel like that's going to drive them to get one as well.
I want one. Just to protect my freaking self. You see how small I am?
As
like,
you should.
Like, that's scary.
As you
and
should.
then I don't, it just baffles me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Nothing.
Like, what the fuck? I don't know, but it just baffles me. And I remember talking about the subject back in high school when the first Parkland shooting happened. Bitch, tell me why. Tell me why I was talking about it with my friend, and I'm obviously passionate because we in high school. Like, this is this could be our reality. Like,
yeah.
What? But also, like, I'm gonna sympathize with those people because you're in a place of learning. That's the place you least expect to get shot up, bro. So, this girl had the audacity to tell me, "Well, why do you care so much?"
Because I could literally
girl,
be us. Like, what? Are you dumb?
No, she told me that doesn't affect you. You know, their problems aren't your problems. I said, girl, why do you care that I care? You are the one.
Why don't you care?
You entered this conversation. If you don't care, see your way out, please.
Because their problems are ultimately our problems, because we are in the same position, the same vulnerable position that they were in at that time.
Exactly.
And it's like, this could, like, it's school. Like, it could happen to anybody. Like, we're not exempt just because, we're not in that state. We still got crazy motherfuckers around here who willing to shoot up the school.
And we
had
a school shooting
scares.
We had multiple.
Yes. And it's like, this is very fucking real. So who are you to sit here and try to invalidate your sympathy for these people? Oh, because they're halfway across the country, or this and that. Like,
and what's crazy is that after the Parkland shooting happened, remember that scare? Like, I don't think
At our school?
Yes, no one really had a gun, but it was a scare.
I remember going around.
I'm not sure if it was a picture, but I remember we heard a bang or something, and everyone thought it was a gun. Like, teachers were rushing students in and everything. And
you talking about movies out? Oh, okay.
Yes.
So y'all, we were doing a tribute. I forgot which school it was. That's crazy.
It was Parkland.
We were doing a tribute outside. I'm sorry. We were doing a tribute outside on our field in the stands or whatever for the Parkland shooting, showing our condolences. I think we were releasing balloons or something. Balloons. Yeah, like we were giving our condolences, and of course, everyone the school we go to, these niggas start fighting. Not like they're fighting. So like
fighting.
It was a gang
fight.
It was a gang fight, which was very prominent at that time.
Yes,
but so we just hear like. I don't know if it was like word of mouth, like, oh, they got a gun, because that's how I received it. I didn't necessarily hear anything, and like everybody just started rushing, and like, bitch, I'm like busting, because the teacher started like closing the door, so I'm like, move, bitch, like let
our
me
teachers
in.
are bringing in students.
Some of them, but
they're like, hurry up and get inside.
They started closing the doors, like, cause, like we was like, I don't want to say the first people, but we was close to like the first people to get in.
Yeah, we were all rushing to go in the classroom.
And then like it was people still out there like trying to watch the fight, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, haven't you literally, do you see why we're here right now? And like, thank God it wasn't actually a gun, but like, if it was, like, you putting yourself in that vulnerable position to potentially get shot. Like, people are mad. If you're in a rage, you don't give a fuck. You're not like, you just shooting. You just trigger happy at that point. You just want to get your shit off. Like, you're angry. You're not in your right mind. So why the fuck would you want to be surrounded by it? Like, I never understood why people like being surrounded by chaos.
Because they used to that. First of all, people are used to it. They like it.
Can you move your legs over a little bit?
Yeah, girl.
Thank you.
They used to it. They like it. Or sometimes what happens, they just stuck.
No, literally, because
they just stuck.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up around some crazy shit. I've seen shit. I've seen dead bodies. I've seen people get shot. Like, the craziest shit as a kid. Like, shit I'm not expecting to see. And like, I can see how that could be intriguing for some people, and it's hard for people to leave behind, because of course, like, especially the school we went to, everybody was trying to prove that they was a thug, they was this, they was that.
Somebody.
And like, I feel like just igniting fights and, you know what I'm saying, just causing ruckus was like their way of feeling accepted in a way.
It was.
But like that was never your life to begin with.
That's how a lot of people are accepted though. And it's crazy. People, I never fucked with that though. Like, I just never fucked with it. You not somebody to me. You shooting and causing ruckus and shit. Like,
I feel like if you got the good sense God gave you, and especially if you are what you claim to be, you've been in that position, you done seen shit like this before. The last thing you want to do is put yourself in that. You know, or the
last thing you want to bring yourself to is to put yourself in a position to where you're getting attention from it. Why do you want to be in the face of that?
Why?
Getting arrested at school.
Why?
Like,
what do you gain from that? Like, what are you proving now to me as a smart young woman who, you know what I'm saying, has or had.
You know what's crazy? After that, the whole incident, I never heard us complain about me talking my shit anymore, because you sound real dumb.
Right.
Like, bro, you was just saying that, oh, I shouldn't care, da da da. Then we had a scare. I remember literally texting my parents and my brothers, like,
me too.
I love you. I don't know, like, it might be a gun in here. I don't know.
That, like, and that is why, like, I'm, like, and that's what I mean. That's, like, it's literally in our face. It's been in our face for so fucking long for us to even go through something like that, because I remember texting my mom, calling her, like, and you know, the fucking service in the school is shitty. Like, I'm like, Mom, like, I don't know.
Yeah, my message went on green.
Yes, I'm like, oh my God, my mama got an iPhone. What the fuck? Like, come on.
Send, please.
Right, and then, like, just to be, like, but for real, though, like, just to not even put ourselves in those people's shoes, but to be
in that position.
Shoes,
and the thing
terrifying.
is, it was false.
Yes.
But imagine if it was real.
But the fear was fucking real.
The fear was very much real. That's real. Scary. Like, I just can't. And I remember, actually in middle school, we had a gun scare. I had the audacity to be on my birthday. Can you believe that?
You're stupid.
I remember this because I was like, they wrote it on girls' bathroom, I believe. They're like, I think it was March 24th. Or maybe it was one other day. I remember some day near my birthday, they were like, oh, be prepared. I'm going to bring a gun to school. If you stay home if you don't want to get shot, or some shit like that. I ended up staying home because I told my parents. Thank God they let me stay home, because you got those parents that are like,
Girl,
you're going to
go to
school.
yeah.
Like, first
my
of
mom
all,
was
you
like that.
No, that's
no,
fucked
like
up.
she let me stay home type shit.
I know, but I'm saying for the parents who send their kids to school knowing that y'all fucked up.
But I do like some, because it's different situations. Like some people don't got food at home, like they get their meals from school type shit. So, but that's not excusable. But like that's probably why. And like you don't know for sure. But I know in middle school, like where I went, guys, if anybody's familiar with Central Drive or Stone Mountain, period, y'all know this is some bullshit. But I went to Stone Mountain Middle School, and nigga, I'm talking about like niggas like was coming to school with guns, and maybe not the middle school, not so much, but niggas was smoking weed, niggas was doing all type of shit at school, and it's like it kind of became normalized. So like if it was a situation or some shit, niggas is just like, where that nigga at? Like, oh, sit your ass down. No, we really wow, we do so good when we don't plan.
Bitch, we talked about
everything,
and we didn't even come back to the original point we made about
the gun shit.
We didn't even finish their topic. Enjoy this episode. Sorry we could not end it off as smoothly as we did before. We're now recording on Tania's phone because our camera died again. So this was Desiree
and Tania.
See you next week.
Mic drop.
On wages, prices, and profit. Now, I know there are some people who say that this isn't any business of the President of the United States.